So, tomorrow, live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we're going to have the WWE Extreme Rules pay per view. I have to say that as far as the matches go, I'm semi interested in them. The Raws and SmackDowns leading up to this event have been more lackluster than actually exciting. In fact, let's just go over some of these matches here and we'll see how they're going to go. Now, the first kickoff match is actually something I wanted to see, and WWE has decided to give it to us. It's going to be Sin Cara versus Andrade Cien Almas, and I have to say that their match on Tuesday SmackDown was probably the best match, not only of that night but of the entire week. It was nice to see Sin Cara have a halfway decent match. I know he's had a huge hard problem with working, outside of the luchador program. But with Cien Almas being a luchador as well, they put on an incredibly decent match on SmackDown. My only problem was that the match wasn't long enough for them to really do a decent amount of work. And I'm really hoping with the kickoff match that these guys are given ample time, I would say 20 to 25 minutes, to do a lot of luchador spots, and this could actually be the match of the night before the pay per view. So if you have a chance to actually sign on before the actual pay per view events and watch this, I would definitely suggest you do that. In the end, I think Andrade Cien Almas will win. He's an up and comer. He was an awesome performer in NXT, and so I think Sin Cara will let him go over, and so Andrade's going to win that match. So next, from the kickoff show, is going to be a six-man tag between the New Day and Sanity. And I have to admit, I'm really not looking forward to this match, simply because Sanity was brought from NXT, and you usually let your new guys give them a decent push and let them go over, but they've lost twice in the past 3 weeks, and they didn't. And not only has Sanity lost, but these have been clean pins. So WWE has basically, or the writing staff has basically taken the fire out of this group early on. Uh, I would typically say these guys I would expect to win. Let the New Day let them receive a push for a little while. But since they've lost so often, I don't know what to say here. But I'm going to go with tradition here, and I'm going to guess that Sanity is going to win this match. And I'm really hoping that it's going to be a halfway decent match. Give these guys 15, 20 minutes, give them some high spots, and let Sanity do their thing and give them the win. No DQ, no count out, no, let them cheat because they're supposed to be, the bad guys. But in the end, I would like to see Sanity win. So, while there's no official announcement on the order of the matches, I'm just going to go by the way of the website. And looks like the first match may be Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. And I have to admit, I think Finn Balor should be further on the card because he's an excellent performer. But, that's just how it goes sometimes. And Baron Corbin, he has received the push, and I don't know if he's been in trouble or something else behind the scenes. But this whole constable thing isn't doing it for me. I kind of preferred him, kind of doing his lone wolf thing, looking out for himself. Uh, but it seems, the folks on the writing staff have a different plan for him. As far as this match goes, I see it being a halfway decent match. I would like to see Finn Balor win, but I have a feeling that they're going to give the match to Baron Corbin in the end and see if he can take his opportunity and move forward along the card. So, next up is going to be the Raw Tag Team Championship versus where it's Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus Plan B or Team B or whatever they are. Um, was it Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel? This is going to be kind of interesting to see here and See how Bray Wyatt has been affected by the car accident he was in a couple of weeks ago. See if he's as mobile as he can be, and see how they play against the Team B. Team B has been getting some, wins for the past couple of weeks. I would have preferred to see them have some decent matches with other teams and build themselves as a credible opponent towards Team Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Uh, this is gonna be an interesting match. It could either go very well or it can be a bunch of messed up botches here. But in the end, I think no, the title is not going to change hands here, and Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy will keep the titles until SummerSlam. Next, looks like it's going to be for the SmackDown Women's Championship with Carmella versus Asuka. And as much as I think Asuka should have already won this match before, I have a feeling that either Ellsworth is going to interfere or somebody else is going to interfere and cause Asuka to lose. Now, I don't really have a problem with that. My biggest issue is having Asuka lose so cleanly. Simply off the fact that when Asuka was brought up from NXT, their biggest thing was that the world wasn't ready for Asuka and how, she's, won 500 days in a row or matches or whatever. They built her to be an incredible performer or wrestler, however you want to call it. And then, she loses cleanly at WrestleMania, and then she loses cleanly to Carmella. I mean, and I think she's lost to her, once or twice so far. Um, that I think is just not a way to go for your character building. I don't have a problem with Carmella winning, but it could have been done, via cheating. Have somebody hold her, Asuka's legs down while the ref's not looking, just to do something a little bit more underhanded. That way, you don't take away from Asuka and her abilities. But right now, by having her lose cleanly, it just looks like she just doesn't look as tough as she was before. Anyway, I have a feeling that the title will not change hands here, and it will stay with Carmella through some underhanded shenanigans here. So next is going to be an Extreme Rules match between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. Now, in all honesty, I don't think Nia Jax should have ever lost to Alexa Bliss. I understand, she cashed in her money in the bank and caught Nia Jax off guard and pinned her, but it just looks so poorly executed. I mean, Alexa Bliss is 90 pounds soaking wet, to be perfectly honest with you, and for her to, cleanly pin her the way she did, it just doesn't look, for lack of a better term, realistic. I think she could have beaten her a much more logical way to win the championship back. And with this being an Extreme Rules match, I still believe that Alexa Bliss will win here. What's going to happen, in my opinion, is Nia Jax is going to, toss her around for the, majority of the match, and then people are going to interfere, and then eventually so many people interfere, it's going to overwhelm Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss wins, either by pinfall or some other way. But obviously, it's not going to be a clean win. I do have to admit, watching on SmackDown where Alexa got some. Oh no, this was not SmackDown. It was on Raw, where Alexa got some shots on Nia Jax with that bamboo stick. It looked really cool, and I won't deny if I would enjoy seeing Nia Jax get some revenge with that bamboo stick on Alexa Bliss. But it's gonna be kind of scary to see her take those shots because that's a small girl, and to take some heavy shots like that, I would be very impressed with Alexa Bliss if she's willing to do that for the show. But like I said, I still think Alexa Bliss is gonna win, and chances are nothing's gonna change until SummerSlam or later. Okay, and now for the United States Championship, we have Jeff Hardy, or Brother Nero, or however you want to look at it, versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And this is going to be an interesting match between these two because they have so many different styles. And, Jeff Hardy's been around for a long time. I think this match will be pretty decent, and I think they can work out a decent match. Say give them about 10-15 minutes. But in the end, I really think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win this one. He's probably going to cheat, and he will probably win the U.S. Title here. I know Shinsuke's been due a title in some way, shape, or form, and I know they want to do something else with the championship title, so they'll probably give him the U.S. title to tide him over for at least the next little while. But like I said, I think Shinsuke will do this one, and it'll be a decent match. After that, we have the show off Dolph Ziggler versus the Kingslayer, Seth Rollins. And this, other than the Cien Almas and Sin Cara match, this could actually be the match of the night. These guys are two incredibly talented performers, and unfortunately, we've seen these guys go against each other several times in the past couple of weeks. And I wish, we hadn't seen it so many times because that can kind of take away from this particular match. But I think these guys can do something good. I think it's supposed to be a 30-minute Iron Man match to see whoever gets the most pins here. So 30 minutes, these guys can really put together a really decent show and walk away with the match of the night. So let's see how it goes. I'm really looking forward to it. The only thing I wish doesn't happen is if Dolph Ziggler's friend Drew McIntyre interferes. That will take away from the greatness of this match if he interferes. But we'll see. And in the end, I'll probably guess we'll see another title change here with Seth Rollins winning this thing back. But like I said, this one has the potential of being the best match of the night. So next we have the Bludgeon Brothers, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper versus Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And in all honesty, this could be a decent match here. But I have a feeling that the way they've had their storylines where they keep talking about Kane, taking out Daniel Bryan here, I could see a possible heel turn for Kane in this particular match, to where not only do the Bludgeon Brothers keep the titles, but Kane turns on Daniel Bryan, and they have and that will set up a match between the two for SummerSlam. So that's my prediction. Next, we have Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens, and I have a feeling this is going to be more of a squash match, more of a comedic tone. We've seen for the past few weeks where, Kevin Owens has his car turned over by Braun Strowman, and then he's knocked over in the outhouse, and it's been more silly than any type of serious rivalry, and I have a feeling that's going to be the tone of this particular match, where Kevin is going to try and escape and do some silly hijinks, and Braun Strowman is going to overcome them every single point in time. So in the end, I think this will just be one of those matches to where people can go use the restroom, not to take very seriously, and Braun Strowman will win and will be ready for the next match. After that, we have the penultimate match where we have Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. So you have two big guys who want to be considered the guy. We've seen them both wrestle. They're both excellent performers in excellent shape. I think this match could be a decent match between the two. I'm really hoping we see something from Bobby Lashley here, to where he seems, like a formidable opponent. And what I mean by that is he's obviously a big guy, obviously athletic, but for some reason he's not very intimidating to me. I want to see something from him that just makes me jump out of my seat. I want to see something from him to where I go, good Lord, this guy is an ass kicker. And if he can do that, that'll make the match worthwhile. Who do I think is going to win this match? Honestly, I think it's going to turn into some type of disqualification or double disqualification or count out, to where neither one wins over the other, simply because I think this will continue on until SummerSlam, or at least the next little while, because this one actually has been working as far as having these two guys go. Now, the whole having to pull them apart at last week's Raw was kind of silly, especially, just the way it was. But it's been working, and I think it can continue on at least until August. So, like I said, I don't think there's going to be a clean finish here, and there's no way I think one particular person's going to win over the other. And last, in my opinion, is going to be for the SmackDown Heavyweight Championship. Rusev versus the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And I think this is going to be a halfway decent match. Obviously, AJ Styles can work with anybody. He can make Brock Lesnar look good. And Rusev actually has been deserving of a decent match in quite a while. And I think these two can work together very well. Honestly, in the end, I think AJ Styles is going to win. But I feel that Rusev is going to be able to do a lot of quote-unquote damage against AJ Styles, especially in regards of, some of the power moves he can do and some of the moves he'll be able to do outside of the ring, against the announcer's table and all that. It's going to be a brutal match between those two, because Rusev's obviously bigger, and he has the Bard of Baritone, what was it, Alex English? I don't know, he's incredibly pale, that's all I know. Not Alex English, that was a basketball player. Anyway, he's gonna help him out, distract him a little bit. But in the end, I still think AJ Styles is gonna win. Probably by submission. He'll put the ankle lock on him, because I don't think there's any way he's gonna be able to get the Styles Clash on Rusev. The guy's just too massive. In the end, like I said, AJ Styles is gonna win and keep the championship until SummerSlam. And there you have it, folks. Those are my predictions for tomorrow's WWE Extreme Rules. Tell me what you think. Do you think I'm going to be wrong when it comes to the matches, or do you think the outcomes are going to be different? Tell me your thoughts. I like talking with you guys. What I'm surprised is that we're not seeing anything from, Mojo Rawley. Nothing from some of the other guys that have been kind of had a few storylines here and there over the past few weeks. And where's Dean Ambrose? I know he's still rehabbing from his injury. But all in all, where's Samoa Joe? I think Samoa Joe's being incredibly underutilized here. And maybe we'll see him interfere with one of the matches. That would be really, really cool, because I think Samoa Joe is one of the best performers out there. So, but let me know your thoughts about WWE Extreme Rules. And also, I'm thinking about doing a live recap and review after the show is over. And if you would like to be part of it, let me know. Put it in the comments below, hit the like button, and perhaps I'll be able to do it. I don't know if I'll have the time, but I would like to give it a shot, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's it for me for now. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to hear more of my rantings when it comes to wrestling, movies, television, video games, whatever, hit that subscribe button. And like I said, I like doing this, and I like talking to you guys. And until next time, peace.